Hey everybody, I'm driving home from Costco. Just filled up, 75 gallons of diesel for tomorrow. I probably will run through 25 with my tractor in a full day, and probably another 15-20 driving down the lakeside and back with my truck, hauling it and all that weight and equipment. I just kind of want to share a couple things. I get a lot of people that now are calling me up or messaging me or texting me saying, hey, I want you to come do some work for me, and that's awesome. And it's some of the people are like, look, it's not an issue of how much it's going to be, it's can you do this work? Basically, I was told a couple weeks ago, your reputation and what you're posting is amazing, and the fact that you show up, you do the work, and you're honest, it's refreshing to a lot of people. And so I kind of want to share that because I have a lot of people that actually message me like, how do you do this? What are you doing? Why are you so busy? Why are you building this business so well? And there's a couple key things I want to share. One, communication, okay? When people message me on Facebook or Messenger or whatever, could be Craigslist or whatever way they contact me, I try to follow up with them as quick as I can. If I'm busy, I make sure to tell them, hey, you know what, I'm busy teaching high school right now. Give me a couple hours and I can get back to you, and I'll work through this. The other part is, even if I don't want to talk to them or I'm busy, I still communicate and respond, so they acknowledge, or I acknowledge that I got it and I'm working on it. That way, if they got anxiety or they're like, well, this guy's not really on it, I could be busy working. Some of the few exceptions might be where the job site is where I got no reception, or it's just difficult in the middle of all this stuff, but I'll message them and say, hey, give me a couple hours, let me finish this job. That goes a long way. Plus, when I'm setting up appointments or schedules and all that kind of stuff, going back and forth, it's not just, hey, I'll show up when I want. Number two, be organized. I set up a schedule. I have a full spreadsheet on my Google Drive that literally has every person that's ever contacted me, as much information as I have, and then basically kind of some criteria that I put in there to help me remember what type of work they want. Because a lot of people ask me to do jobs or how much it'll cost, but they don't always have the money at the time. They don't always have the time or flexibility to do it when they're ready, or maybe there's other reasons why they don't do it. Or maybe sometimes a lot of my customers they just have this idea and they want to see if they can afford to do it or what it would take to do it, and they can build their plans for that. And number three, I show up when I say I'm going to show up. That's a huge thing. I mean, we've all probably had those unfortunate experiences with tradespeople and contractors. I've been through that with several of mine as we bought our property and basically have done a lot of work on our property. But showing up is a big deal. People set aside time. Time is value. Whether I make $2,000 an hour or $5 an hour, my hour is my hour, just like your hour is your hour. And so if you're one that's kind of flaky, doesn't show up, like a lot of contractors are kind of like winging it all the time. I can't afford that. This is my side job that I'm trying to build into a future business for me and my family and future, son-in-laws and all that kind of stuff. And I want it to be successful. And so as I'm doing this, I make sure I show up at all costs. Like, I will communicate, hey, I'm running behind. I had a flat tire one time, had 2 flat tires one time. There's one exception where I actually told the customer I may not be able to make it tomorrow or this week if I don't get my windshield for my tractor, because I'm doing brush hogging and it's extremely dangerous to do without it. And he understood, and I was up till midnight trying to make it work. I shot him a text and said, hey, I'm sorry, but I did the best I could, and here's where I'm at. So the other thing is, have pride in the work you do. And that's really where I think I set myself a little bit apart from others in competition, is I'm looking at how can I provide value, how can I basically take care of my customers, and at the end of the day, I want your repeated business, and that's what's happening in a lot of cases. And the last thing that I can tell a lot of people is there's a difference between me and a lot of other people that are trying to do the same thing. I'm doing this and I'm reinvesting in my business. I'm not just paying bills. Yes, I have equipment bills, I have tractor payments and all those type of things, trailer payments, but at the end of the day, I'm throwing almost everything extra I can back into my business to buy more attachments, buy more equipment, and reinvesting in what I can do to provide more service or more value to my customers. if I just had a little baby tractor and all I could do is, box scrape and a little skip loader bucket on the front, that's great, but I'm limited on what I can do. I'm also limited on what I can do for you as a customer. So again, if you're one that's following this and you're like, hey, man, I want to figure this out, this applies to any trade, any job, anything you do. Communicate, do a good job, show up, have pride, and reinvest. Build your business. It goes a long way. If people have a lot of options, they're going to be more satisfied to give you more work. So hopefully that helps some of you that are following or trying to figure out how to navigate your own opportunities, whether it's a side hustle or an actual business or whatever it is. Those are the things that I'm finding are working for me. So enjoy the tips. Again, I'm no expert, but this is working for me.